Hello folks, and welcome back to my playthrough of Miru, which is an overland solarpunk adventure game set in the future where you're trying to avenge the death of your brother at the hands of some kind of robotic or artificial intelligence god. I'm the Lone Adventurer. Thank you very much for stumbling your way upon my channel. If you enjoy this video, please do consider liking it and subscribing if you want to see more adventures just like this one. If you haven't seen the other parts of this series, I'll pop a link to part 1 up in the corner of the screen right about now. I'll pop a link to parts 2 and 3 down in the description below. Now, we had just discovered our second village up here. Our first village is all the way over here. This is our second village. Technically, I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to have a god event, but I rolled the dice. I saw that I was getting a village, and I decided that I wanted the village. So that's what I did. But that does mean that now, on day 16, we need to have our god encounter. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to have the second god encounter. God event number 2 on day 15 or 16, the warehouse. The next blank tile that you visit triggers this event. For this day we had to choose a tile to go to. Being here, obviously we were going to choose one of these blank ones rather than going over in this direction. So I think we'll head up this way, so that we're going towards the treasure. This becomes a forest terrain. You come across a muddy pathway near the edge of a river. You cautiously walk along it until you hear something heading in your direction. You dive behind a tree and wait. It's a helper F2 carrying a load of fruit. You notice it walks with a limp, and its front lens is cracked right where the helper F2 ran into your brother. So this is the bot that started the incident with our brother that led to his death. You decide to follow it, leading you to a massive warehouse buzzing with robot activity. You spot an unguarded back door and sneak in. You find a ladder on the back wall leading up to the rafters. From up top you watch the whole operation. Bots come in with food and goods. They sort them, loading up little trailers, and send bots back out. You spot the limping bot unloading its fruit. It then walks over to a docking station and lays on a battery pad to charge. An industrial wire connects the charger to the ceiling right over you. Without hesitation, you reach up with your taser and blast the wires. The lights in the building flash off and on. You watch the charging pad flash bright orange and the bot on top melts from the extreme heat. The power goes completely out, and in the dark below you see 2 Buster T7s light up their laser arms. You sneak down from the rafters and out the back of the entrance. You spend the rest of the day getting as far away from the warehouse as you can. Alright, so not so much happening there in terms of things that we actually need to action in the gameplay, but some intriguing story moments there. So I'm just going to draw this foresty warehouse location here. Right, so that was day 16. We need to eat, so we'll eat one of our fruit bits of fruit. We don't need to worry about calculating what we're going to gain from eating and sleeping because we're on max of everything. And I think on the following day we might move over into this location before going up to get the treasure in the next day. And I think what we're going to do on the following day is move over into this location have some kind of interesting random encounter of some kind, and then we can go up here and get the treasure the next day. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to roll for this new hex. 1. Minor injury. We haven't had an injury before. You suffer from a minor injury while looking around. You sprain your ankle or felt ill with a fever. Whatever it was, it hurt enough for you to take some damage. Takes us down to 18. You can't explore the tile and you immediately skip to the eat step of the day. You start the next day on this same tile and try exploring again. Alright, so we need to consume some of our food. Again, we'll stick with fruit. Fruit gives us plus 1 HP. Sleeping gives us plus 3, so we'll comfortably get back up to 20. And that's the end of the day. So let's see what the following day will bring. What kind of terrain? 2 gives us forest. Okay. That's nice, because that sort of extends from this forest here, giving us a nice little foresty region. Plus we haven't had a lot of forests going on. I've just noticed that each of the god-related events has a separate little icon. I don't know whether these are going to be important, but maybe I should have used those. So I'll draw this little cog on the second god event. And I put a little 2 next to it as well. And let's see if I can just work out. I think it might have been this one here for the first god event. It wasn't, it was this one here. It was really early on. So this here is god event 1. Right, so we were looking for forest events. And let's see what happens. 6 gives us some ruins. I seem to roll a lot of ruins. Maybe that's just the way of it. Right, so we roll 1 dice for ruins. 5 gives us an old grocery store. All the front windows are busted out of this chain grocery store. The entire meat department has exploded in vegetative growth. The shelves are empty except for a few birds' nests. You find 1 meal bar in a car that had crashed into the building. Alright, so we get a meal bar. I think I might just tidy up my food and wallet sections here. Right, so with that done, we can move on. And I think we're going to go... oh yeah, so we need to have the end of the day in which we need to consume something. So we'll consume some fruit. And that is the end of day 18. Okay, so the following day we're going to go up into that hex there with the treasure. Now, I'm not sure if I need to have an event nonetheless, or whether discovering the treasure... actually it says right here. Treasures. If there's a treasure icon on the tile, play through that treasure's event on page 25. So we don't have to do a normal event. Right, so I've just noticed that each treasure has a page number and a ruins reference. And this is one of the grasslands ruins, and I found most of the grasslands ruins, but luckily ruins number 5 I have not found. So we're going to do that now. Turn to ruins number 5 on the grassland, which is a rusty train cart to nowhere. As you walk along the grass, you notice a set of train tracks begin to emerge. You follow the tracks until they meet a lonely, rusty train cart. Inside it are clear signs someone camped here recently, but hasn't returned in a while. You find 1 meal bar and 1 improved camping gear. So that takes our meal bars up to 8. Improved camping gear. I guess we will need to look at the equipment list for that one. the item catalogue. Improved camping gear. Oh, I've got the survival book. Exciting. I didn't realise that was going to give me an instant effect. We'll come back to that in a second. But first, improved camping gear. So when we sleep while camping, we'll now get plus 4 HP and plus 4 EP. So I need to make a note of that to remind me. We've also got the survival book, which we found. And a golden cross, is that on here? The golden cross is on here as well. Golden cross doesn't have an effect, it's just a relic from a long time ago, and I can sell it for 20 bits. That is huge. Now the survival book teaches me Tech Skill 4, which is fantastic news. I don't know what Tech Skill 4 is, we'll find out later, but I'm fairly sure, I'll double check before I do any tech skill related stuff, that gives me the final dice. So that means whenever I roll for a tech skill now, I'm rolling 3 dice. So hopefully at some point during this video I'll get an opportunity to roll for a tech skill and we can see how that works. Alright, that was exciting. So that's treasure number 1 located. And the end of day 19, we need to consume some food, so we'll consume our last bit of fruit. That's the end of day 19. And we're going to go on to day 20. Day 20? Yeah. Alright, making good progress here. So we're going to head... Should we keep heading north? Maybe we should keep heading north. Yeah, I'm going to head over here. Let's see what this hex has in store for us. It's going to be a desert. Let's find out what's going to happen in the desert. So that is 12, which gives us an encounter. 3. Never let your guard down. After spending all day in the sun, you find a rusty car in the shade to sit in and cool off. Just as you get comfortable, you hear a low growl in the back seat. You turn around to see a mountain lion. Right, so we've got a mountain lion to fight. Mountain lion, a very big and unfriendly cat. So it's got HP of 12, and it can do a maximum of 8 damage to me. And if we defeat it, we might find some meal bars or some bits. So I'll just quickly draw some desert. And there's my rusty old car I've discovered. Alright, so first attack, obviously I'm going to use my solar powered taser, which I can use once per day. Oh wait a minute, first the lion attacks me. 6. So we're starting off with the maximum amount of damage, which is 8. I've got 2 in defense, which means the lion's done 6 points of damage straight away. Alright, but then I'm hitting it with my taser, which does a total of 10 points of damage. The lion has a defense of 1, which means I'm doing 9, taking the lion down to 3 points of health. Then the lion attacks me again. 4, 6 points of damage, less 2 because of my defense means that it's doing 4 points of damage, taking me down to 10 health. And then I'm going to attack with my hunting knife, which does 4, minus 1 defense, which does 3 points of damage, which takes the lion down to 0, and it is defeated. Alright, we're going to check the rewards table. 4 gives us 3 meal bars. Cool. So I guess we searched the car after we defeated the lion and found 3 meal bars on the floor somewhere maybe. Taking me up to 11 meal bars. Brilliant. Oh, I should have used one of my tech skills, shouldn't I? On that final attack, just to see how it works. Right, so the lion is defeated. We need to do some resting. So we'll eat one of our meal bars, taking me down to 10 meal bars. Eating a meal bar does 2 points of health restoration. Plus, camping in the wild does 3 or 4, because I've got the improved camping gear. So 4 plus 2 is 6, taking me back up to 16 health. And that's the end of day 20. Alright, on to day 21. And I think day 21 is going to be the last day for this video. And we'll see. I'm not sure I want to play too much more of this on camera because it feels a bit spoily. I know some people enjoy watching longer playthroughs, but I feel like I've given Miru a decent chunk of time on the channel, and no doubt we will be returning to this world when Miru 2 arrives in my letterbox. So let's do one last day. We're up here at the moment. Let's just head... No, let's go all the way. Let's go all the way to the top. So what are we going to find up there? Five. Some more desert. Hopefully not something too anticlimactic. 5 gives us some ruins. And 5 again gives us the theatre. We've had the theatre. We've had the federal building. So we're going to move over to the first ruins event. Let me just quickly draw a little bit of desert type stuff. There we go. The first trees you've seen in a while surround a brutalist concrete building suitable for a villain. You check it out, and inside you find the remains of the Cyber Spirits Company, Distillery and Restaurant. A self-sustaining tropical forest survives throughout the interior of the cave-like building. Cool. You crack open a barrel of whiskey that has 42069 written on it in white ink, but there's no liquid inside. You find 5 bits behind a register and spend the night here. Alright, so nothing too exciting for our last day there. Just draw a nondescript, boring looking building. Definitely Hinokodu's art here is much nicer than mine. And we'll mark that additional 5 bits in our wallet. We'll do our final healing, so we'll consume a meal bar. That will take us, along with the sleep, up to 2 plus 3. Well, that's going to take us all the way back up to 20. So we've fully recovered from our encounter with the lion. And there you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, folks. If you made it all the way to the end, let me know. If you are particularly keen on me carrying on, let me know as well. I certainly probably won't be picking this up for any off-camera play for a couple of weeks now, because I've got some other games I want to record and I'm going away at the weekend. So yeah, if you let me know, maybe I will do another playthrough. But it's a fun little game, and if I hadn't mentioned before, I am looking forward to my physical copies arriving from the Kickstarter. it's great. I don't think I've played anything quite like it before. The sort of combination of overland exploring and combat and stuff like that, with a much tighter narrative that gradually reveals itself as you play. So it's quite a clever little system, I think, and it's got an awful lot to explore. Now, obviously, in this playthrough, I have revealed quite a lot of content of the game, but I don't think I've revealed anywhere near all of it. I find myself wondering a little bit whether the weighting towards ruins is a bit too heavy. I think I'd like to see maybe a couple more encounters happening. I mean, it might be that I've just been exceedingly lucky in rolling lots of ruins and not too many encounters, but maybe the balance there is a little bit too skewed to the ruins events rather than the encounter events. But it's such a clever little system. It's at once simple and very smart. There's a lot to like here, and I could waffle on about it for ages. I think maybe I'll come back and do a little... I don't tend to do unboxing videos, as it were, because a lot of my games don't really come in boxes. But maybe I'll do a sort of an unboxing video of my Kickstarter when it arrives, and I'll take that opportunity to show off the actual physical copies and maybe talk a little bit more about what I like about Miru. So it's not the last we've seen of Miru on the channel. There'll be plenty more, but I think we'll leave it there for the time being. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this adventure and you want to see more just like it, consider subscribing to my channel. I think I'll pop a link up in the corner of the screen right about now to a playlist which contains part ones of a lot of the playthroughs that I've done, so you can seek out a new game if you want to watch more straight away. Thanks for watching, folks. See you in the next one. Bye for now.